Welcome back to the Dice Tower here for our Crowdsurfing show, where we're going to be taking a look at projects coming up on Backerkit and GameFound and Kickstarter. I'm Camilla.
I'm Z.
I'm Chris.
I'm Joey Evans.
I
said it very loud. Things will be incomplete.
Yeah, so we'll be looking at projects ending in the next 2 weeks on these different platforms who are looking to bring their games and expansions to life and fruition here. So before, this show is sponsored by Backerkit, so we're going to look at a project first up on a game that you can head over to their site to back, and this is the Munchkin Big Box.
Big Box.
The ultimate Munchkin collection.
Oh.
This is pretty much everything in it, right? I mean, it is a monstrous amount of Munchkin stuff.
Yeah.
If it's everything, it's got to be a huge box.
Yeah. First of all, if you've never heard of Munchkin, where have you been?
Right,
Hi,
yeah.
welcome.
Yeah.
I don't
Happy
think
birthday.
This
With
is the
that-
25th anniversary, is what it said, right?
Is that what it is?
It's been around for a while. I mean, but lots of people are aware of Munchkin. It's been played by tons of people. It's sold a lot.
Yeah.
And yet somehow this is still making a whole lot of money. I
It
mean,
is.
because, and again, like I said, because a lot of people do have it, you'd think, who's jumping in and getting everything like this, you know? But hey, a lot of people are. So
Right.
if you want to dive in with both feet,
and get more stuff. There's other stuff. So much stuff, it says. So, yeah, for sure. So,
It's a nice organization, too. Yeah.
yeah,
So-
absolutely. That's the way to do it. Get that big box. Like,
Yeah.
like you were saying, Joey, there's a lot of little, like, core boxes and then little expansions and then a few
Yes.
promos and then a one card over here and a bookmark and, like, you know what I mean? It's,
Yeah.
There's stuff everywhere. So this is a nice way to bring it all together.
They're kind of envious of the guy that comes in at this moment, and you saying you collected it for like 25 years, and he's like, thanks. It's like, that's nice.
There you go. Yep. So if you're interested in that, head over to Backerkit, where you can pick that up for your buddy who's been collecting it for 25 years.
Yes.
All right, let's jump into our projects this week. Kicking it all first with Neon Rain, coming from
a
Manny
Prince song.
Tremblay.
Yeah, Manny Tremblay's a designer. I know him mostly, actually primarily as an artist. I love his stuff, right? But as a designer, he's got quite a few good credits under his belt, Dice Throne being one of his big co-designs and everything. So when I saw what this game was, like play video game controller looking cards and they fight each other and stuff, I was like, woof, doesn't seem like my type of game, but I do really like Manny.
This how to play, because I was like, okay, arcade thing I'm in. This how to play, I'm like, okay, but seriously, how to play? It's like, will you lay down these cards and then we cut these in half? I'm like, well, I don't think you really do that, do you?
Right. Yeah, it's kind of like when you see one of those videos of the minis and they come in, they boom, they shoot their gun, and you're like, yeah, no, but what do you really do? Because my minis don't do that. I play a lot of mini games. They don't do that.
I'm no longer 11. You don't have to you don't have to sell me the Toys R Us ad. Remember the Toys R Us ads where they would like show you the action figures
With a fog machine?
But those kids were always in like the perfect setting.
Yes.
They were like playing with He-Man in an actual castle. Like the background was like stone. There was moss everywhere. You're like, where do these kids live?
Yeah, right?
What neighborhood is this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, so I was there with you with the how to play. I'm like, I don't get it. Pretty graphics. Woo!
And I had to, I'm like, I want to know how to play this game.
Yeah.
You just tell me.
Yeah.
So-
I like the look of this because I like that art style, but the game's also not speaking to me. I think I'm not. While I like two-player head-to-head games,
Right.
I don't tend to like them when I don't know what it is, and Level 99 has done this like 12 times. I don't like them when they are video game themed fighting games. Like
No.
Mortal Kombat, but with cards. I'm like, I'm out. I don't care.
It kind of reminds me of like a copy of a copy of a copy. We play an arcade game because we can't actually go out and fight people. So now we're going to play
Speak for yourself,
a board
Joseph.
game or a card game that's like an arcade game that's like going around fighting people.
Because the arcades are mostly gone.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. I think you're right.
It's like, okay, eventually we'll get there. Let's just
Right.
fight people.
Yeah, you're like, yeah, let's just cut it all out.
Yeah.
All right, Core of Discovery. Mike did a live play of this recently, right?
did,
That was, what,
he
2
did.
weeks ago, I think? Something like that, yeah.
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 Yeah, it looks pretty good. I saw a chunk of it, and I like the look of this a lot. I think, I'll tell you what, I've not been the biggest fan of off-the-page games.
Really?
I haven't, there hasn't been one yet that has spoken to me, and that's not that I'm not a fan. I think they're doing great things. I love the themes they're picking. I like that their games feel entirely their own. They're very interesting designs. They are not cookie cutters.
Yeah.
You know, these guys don't make cookie cutter games with a theme from a graphic novel on top. They don't. They just haven't worked for me. I didn't like the original one, which everybody loves. And then the new one,
right?
the what?
Mind management.
Yeah, mind management. Yeah, I didn't really like that. And then the
Harrow County.
The Harrow County one has a
played that
great
one.
look, great theme. It was too abstract for me. I wasn't really feeling it. I'm thinking this might be the one that gets me in there finally.
Really?
Because I like the theme is awesome. This like Lewis and Clark thing, and you're fighting monsters. I mean, it's
I didn't
they're
know that.
exploring. You know, they're going on their expedition, and yetis and beasts and minotaurs and stuff. I'm like, yeah.
The video got me there. It was like, President Jefferson is sending you to explore the edge of the known wilderness. I'm like, okay, cool. And fight the monsters.
Right.
Oh,
What?
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a graphic novel I would love to check out. But anyway, I like the gameplay. There's like deduction in it.
Right.
Yeah.
Exploration, deduction, right? There's all these weird, again, not cookie cutter at all. These guys put together some wild stuff, and I hope that it sings for me.
Right, because it doesn't go the route of just being a boss battle or something like that either. It still has that
Right.
exploration and deduction. It talks
Right.
about, you know there's guaranteed to be one wood on each row, but you're trying to narrow down where it is because wood also has to be next to food, and I'm making these rules up, but it's something like
Yeah,
that.
every map has its own rules. Yeah.
And you know
Yeah.
those rules, and there's a food there, that means this one here or here is likely the wood, which one? Well, I know this. And so you're putting that deduction, really feeling like you're out exploring an area. I can hear the water, there's probably, et cetera, as
Right.
you're out. But it still has the monster fight as well. And so how cool that they didn't just completely let go of that theme, they just added to it. I think that's really interesting.
And that's what got me too, is like, they answered a lot of questions. Number one, I love that aspect, the deduction of like the search for Planet X type of thing, you know?
Yes.
All these rules are always true. And the fact they answered the question, I'm like, okay, replayability. Then later they're like, well, no, there's a lot of those, you can download more. I'm like,
Right.
okay.
Yeah, because once you know a map, you
right.
know the map. It's like somebody just said, Loopy just said, it's advanced Minesweeper.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Way to ruin it for me,
And
Loopy.
once you know that map,
matter
then
with
you
you?
can't really play that one again, I'm guessing, for a long time, right? But they give you like 10 or 20
10, I
maps
think it
per
is, yeah.
chapter here.
Yeah.
And you can
that's-
get more online, and here they come with 2 kind of scenarios in the box, and there's 3 more in the campaign.
And they are one, like, off the page, like, I got my management, I liked it a lot. And I wanted the deluxe, but they don't sell it unless you're at a con. So we had a friend we were going to, like, send to North Carolina to go to a con and get it. And we asked the person will they be there, and he found out what we were going to do. He was like, listen, no, just, okay, I'll
be
send you
there.
one. So, but their deluxe ones
Way to
are
bully
real.
a company into submission.
I was like, their deluxe ones are nice.
Yeah.
They're just, and they don't add really gameplay, they just add nice components.
They just, bring
It's a
it.
good way to do it.
Bring it forward.
I like the look of this a lot,
I do
man. The
too.
vibe, the look. My worry is...
Oh, that's nice.
That's so
My
good.
one worry here, that is still a bit of a concern, or I would have just backed this bad boy already, is that this one still might be too abstract for me. All the other ones have been pretty abstract, especially
Yeah.
that middle one. That Harrow County
I haven't played that one.
was like Go kind of abstract.
Really?
With theme, but it was like positional abstractness, like very much like you're looking at an abstract board game.
But for me, what excites me is what Camilla's talking about with the idea of like, yes, it's deduction, yes, it's kind of linear, okay, well, this is, but it's kind of in service of this cool theme. So I hope that comes through the excitement, the tension of going
Like, what's-
through and
Yeah.
picking something off and be like, oh, it wasn't what okay, but what did I learn from this? How
Right.
do I keep surviving in this atmosphere? And yeah, it's all driven by something that's very abstract, but hopefully it gets that excitement across.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for too.
I'm trying to find my favorite piece. There, look at that guy. Look
What
at
is he
him.
holding?
What's he holding?
Is it like a? It's not a ninja star, but it's like, I don't know.
You could pinch two
could
finger
do
zoom in
that.
on that.
Oh, I thought it was a turkey. It's not. I'm less interested.
I hate two finger pinching.
It's like a flower.
Blows it
maybe,
out.
or
Yeah, it's like a
something,
bloody flower. I don't know.
I like that.
Yeah, it's
I
a
want one.
good price
Okay.
point too.
It's fine.
That's the other thing. Yeah, it
this
is.
is a very good looking project.
Firesiege, a siege-themed board game for 1 to 4 players.
Yeah.
Yeah, epic.
This one has all the keywords. Asymmetric. You got tower defense. Multiple victory conditions. I'm like, yeah.
Well, if you watch the video for it, the narrator guy comes in, an epic 1 to 5 player, and he just starts going. He rattles off the entire like keyword pitch. I was like, all right, that was kind of generic sounding, but also I now know what I'm looking at, and so it was really effective.
Right. Yeah. For sure.
It looks all right to me. I thought it looked okay. We were looking at a project a couple of weeks ago where the illustrations and the meeples were really clashing. You remember that?
Yeah.
We're like, oh man, it's amazing artwork.
yeah,
and then
that
you look
was
at the
a rough
meeples like a little happy guy.
That's right.
Yeah.
This one doesn't do that as much, thankfully.
Right.
Like they're able to avoid that. They're like big nasty monster and this and that and creepy tentacly guy or spidery guy. But then the meeple, while obviously wooden and screen printed, didn't go too cartoony. It's Euro-y, with the fighting on top of it.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm cautiously optimistic about this one.
Yeah, this would be a definitely play game for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I'd
where
definitely
I'm
be
at.
excited. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, this is a case, like a prime example of potentially if this game had 1,000 monstrous miniatures, it might be making $4 million on Kickstarter.
Yes.
And so I do want to applaud them that they're not going what looks like a wildly overproduced route. This is
For a castle defense game.
Yeah, it's an interesting concept. I like the look of it. I like the meeples and everything there.
Me too.
So yeah, shout out for that. Like not making this a $500 all-in pledge.
And it's a different take. It looks like castle defense, but also like capture the flag with those banners. I don't know. It's very
Little horsey guys running around,
Yeah.
fighting dudes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a play. I'll try this one out.
Yeah.
All right, before we go any further, let's hear from Mark.
Streed!
This spotlight is brought to you by Black Basilisk Games. Outmaneuver, outsmart, and overpower your opponents in this tactical fantasy realm of Astrea. 50 years ago, ethereal voices commanded an unprecedented act to reveal ourselves and ignite a war, a conflict prophesied to tear a rift in the cosmos. And with unquestioning trust, we agreed. Astrea the Seraphim Paradox is a tactical board game set in a universe where strategy, cunning, and careful unit management are keys to victory. You will command your chosen factions, deploying units and diverse abilities onto a dynamic battlefield. The game unfolds in phases where players recruit, deploy, maneuver, and engage in combat, where each action is delicately balanced against the others. Strategic positioning, combined attacks, and utilization of powerful constructs adds depth every turn. Victory in Astrea is achieved through skillful play that aligns with one of two primary objectives: bring victory to your faction or complete annihilation to your opponent. To win Astrea, a player must either accumulate 10 victory points by defeating enemy units or eliminating all the opponent's units from the battlefield. For more information, please check out the campaign, which is now live on Kickstarter.
All right, next up we have The Sixth Realm. Ooh. A highly strategic Euro game.
I missed the
Making
first
pretty good.
5 rounds too.
The first 5, let's see, there's monsters on board.
Yep.
There's
Water, fire, earth.
no, they can do it.
Is this actually the 6th game?
Yes.
Wait,
Make
is
sure-
it?
Y'all, for real? Yes.
They
There's
did
a-
monsters on
Did
board?
you
I
watch
missed
the
that too.
video?
I watched it, yeah. It looked like,
I didn't realize they were referencing and saying like,
I thought I was joking.
Yeah,
I
I
was
thought-
fully joking.
Oh, no, yeah. No, it references in here. Like, there it is, right there. Cave Tavern, Merchant's Cove, Cave Horn, Calliowood, Bardwood Grove.
What's
But
one
they
of those,
also did monsters on board, so that's why I threw that one in
was
there.
one of those Dollywood? What did you say?
I don't know.
Barwood.
Bardwood Grove.
Oh, that makes more
Tallywood.
sense.
Tallywood.
That makes way more sense.
Hollywood
Tallywood.
bananas.
There you go. But yes, it's also from the people,
Oh.
Final Frontier. They also did monsters on board.
You know what this game looked like to me? A Euro game.
It looked like it kind of reminded me like almost like a Lacerda game that has so many things
Oh, it's
going
got
on.
it.
I was
In
like,
the video, it's hilarious because every time they cut to something new in the video, I'm like, and there's tiles you match the sides on.
It was.
Oh, and there's
It
tracks.
was a journey because I'm like, oh, it comes with like 10 games because you got like city
Right.
building, polyomino. We're gonna put a little dungeon exploring over there too.
Yeah.
You see that?
Right.
Oh, it's like
Yeah.
everything.
or, you know, it's almost like if you took Merchant's Cove, which I love, and you had all the characters out, but they're all part of the game you have to
Right.
play. You
They're
have to
all on
manage
your
them
board.
all. They're all
Oh.
communal boards. Yeah, right. That being said, I'm super excited about it. Like none of that turns
Wow,
me away
really?
from this. I really like the world. I really like. I know that I am kind of the champion of the things they've done. I really like Monsters on Board.
love
My
Monsters on Board.
issues with it was the production,
Right.
of
I
the
agree.
deluxe stuff. Was not the gameplay. I really like Merchant's Cove as well. So it leaves me excited for this one. I think there is a lot going on. I'm very intimidated by this one. I feel like it's a huge step, but the mechanisms in the games I've not had problems with the ones I've played before. So let's see. Did we notice the designers? I don't know off the top
Yes,
of my
and
head I did.
Here's why. I looked at this monstrosity. People were like, "Ooh, what are you thinking about six
Realms.
set realm?" And I was like, I saw pictures of it. I was like, this looks bloated and overproduced and huge. And then I saw that Drake Villarreal, who's done a lot of the designs for this company,
Merchant's Cove, Endless Winter.
right? But Seth Jaffe and Matthew Dunstan are two designers I really love who can make a lot out of a little. And so I tend to think of them as more streamlined designers rather than sprawling designers. So I was surprised to see that they're the two, these are the three co-designers on this one. So I'm holding out more hope that I might actually like it because of how much I like these guys' catalog in the past.
So they do a lot with a little, so what happens when you give them a lot?
I'm
But again-
concerned. I don't know.
But again, I mean, there can be a lot going on as long as it doesn't feel like everything is over. Like, is this a whole game I have to learn and this a whole game I have to learn? Or are they
Yes.
just little side
The
things
answer's
kind of
yes.
happening that you're moving around? I mean, I think the example I think of that where I thought it was going to be a bigger barrier than it was like in Burn Cycle. And I remember in every playthrough I watched, the whole networking thing over to the left seemed like its own whole game, its own whole thing I had to learn. It was so overwhelming. And then you got playing it, you realize like, yes, but it integrates so well with what you're doing that it doesn't run itself, but it's an interesting decision to make that kind of funnels back into what you're doing. And so I think that, yes, there can be a lot of little things going around and a lot of mechanisms happening here, but if they all funnel back in together, it can be smooth. And that comes down to a good designer.
Good designer, good development team. So I
Right.
really hope, because it looks cool. You said it looks like a Euro game. I think it looks like 7 Euro games.
Yeah, it kind of does look like 7 Euro games. I'm not interested. It looks like Euro game soup.
I'm more interested now that I didn't know there was Monsters on Board.
Yeah.
It's just like it looks like it literally looks like soup to me. There's like
But to be fair,
triangle tiles
Yeah.
you touch and they have sides that match up. Oh, and then you cover them with other things. Yes. And then over here is the grid and the moving on the grid and tiles and other. I don't know. Gee, I glossed over it all because it all looked like more Eurogamey stuff.
To really hammer the point across, if we're not making this clear, there's a point where they're like, move around this board and translate scripts. And it's like, this is Scholars of the South Tigris as a mini game in a bigger game.
But is it a mini game or is it a whole game attached to 4 different games?
Right.
Kind of
Look
thing.
at
I
this
think
one.
that's
There's a little thing where you point at the action you want, and then the other 2 neighboring actions also do something.
So
But I don't feel like that's a big deal. That's like just a little, if it's just a one-time trigger, I don't know. To me, that's not, I'm
No, I
intimidated.
agree. Any one of these things seems like clever and neat and could be the center of a game.
You're afraid the pitch meeting was like, do you want this, or this? The guy's like, yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
They all seem fine on their own, except for this looks really boring. But all of it together, that's where you get sort of that overwhelming, churning feeling of, woof, it's all in here. They chose to cut and streamline nothing. Maybe I'm wrong.
I'll play this one with you, Mila.
Yeah,
when it
I'm
comes
absolutely
in.
on board with this. I disagree. I think it looks good.
I'm
So.
hesitant but hopeful, like I said, because of that design team.
Right, and maybe it will be, but again, it's still like an instant try because the design teams, because the games that I've seen that this company do and where the development team has taken it in the past. Like, yeah, no, I'm really excited.
I'll
about
give
this
a play
one.
because of Monsters on Board.
You weren't
I
invited.
like that game. I want to come.
Oof, you're out.
Monsters,
You and Z are
Monsters on Board.
busy.
Oh, you're out.
He slammed it. All right, fine.
Fine, you're on the short list.
You and I can sit on the side
No,
and
you,
design an
you
expansion.
definitely were not invited.
We'll make an expansion.
We
We'll be
took
like,
your invite
this doesn't
and
have a
burned
roll and
it.
ride element.
There's no rondelles.
No.
Let's print and play one.
Mike's got my back. Mike, Mike will play it. He's actually backing it.
Yes, but that's because Mike, as he says himself, has everything from the publisher
But
and is
also-
an addict.
He has
But
all
also
5
that
realms. He needs
leads
the
to it. I
sixth
mean,
one.
again, he has that backing.
Mike
because,
believes he's an addict.
Same thing. I mean, anyway, okay. All right, Fractured Sky Rift. This is a reprint of the deluxe and a little micro expansion as well. Rift.
This one is still on my want to play, only because the toy factor. I have not played it yet. It
Has
just
magnets.
looks
The
cool.
magnets are
I
super
know. I've seen you
satisfying.
guys play. I'm like, that just looks fun. So I've not.
I like the
Played this
gameplay as much as I like the toy factor of the game.
Really?
This is one of those where it's produced up the wazoo. It's really expensive. You don't need all that stuff. This could be face down tokens on the board. But at the same time, it adds a little bit of clarity to the visual of everything, and it's fun. It makes the game more fun instead of getting in the way. It's not production that gets in the way of
Right.
smooth, clean gameplay.
Yeah.
It's still clean and smooth. I like it tremendously. I think all of us in the review gave it fairly high
You all
scores.
gave it
8.5.
8.5. It was in the video.
Okay.
And then the new thing is these, I guess they colored the little crystals
Mm-hmm.
in the expansion. And there
do
is
that
now a
daily.
set collection thing that has ties to that. Cool.
And they call it a
Simple.
micro expansion
Yeah.
as well. It's like very little.
Good, good.
I don't
I
mind
like
that.
that.
I
It's
like that.
tiny, it's simple, done.
Doesn't
Yeah.
change
Yeah.
the game.
Yep. Yeah, this is definitely one of those. The main thing here is getting the deluxe that you weren't able to get before.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
for sure.
And the deluxe makes a difference on this one here. It's a huge
Yeah, so
step
you-
up. Magnets.
Tabletop Golf Association Meeple Beach Edition.
Ah, like Pebble Beach. Get it? Like Pebble Beach.
Oh, I didn't put that together. No. Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't
okay.
think that's what they're going
Oh,
for.
I'm sure it is. Like Pebble Beach. It's gotta be.
What's Pebble?
That's Pebble Beach.
PGA, the golf.
Right, like-
Doesn't matter. Meeple Beach.
Maple Beach.
Beach like a tree.
Yeah, I think this is one of those meta things that do bother me. Then just call it Pebble Beach or PGA. Oh, if the card
Yeah.
can't do PGA, right? But I mean, like, yes, they're shouting out to that the golf courses that are right on the seaside, that kind of stuff. You know, at the end of the day, I just think this game is a lot of fun. Like,
I've never. I
just
want to
played
play
it.
it.
I've played
It's
it.
a silly fun
Yeah,
game.
yeah,
I want
they-
to play it.
It's so much fun. Yeah, they've been
You
at Dice
flick
Tower.
it and you sink it.
They've been at the Dice. They've been at Dice Tower East for the last 2 years. They were there and always had it set up, and it's a ball bearing with a little plastic thing, so it's so smooth.
That's all
going
I care
across,
about.
And
Yes.
it is as smooth as it looks in the video. It's so satisfying.
It has a few rules to the game. Like it has wind. You flick a rotating thingy spinner, or you spin a spinner, and then that's like the wind direction. So wherever the ball lands, there's like a little bit of like, oh, it moves to this tile. So it has a little bit of that, like, oh, I'm trying to go and line it up here. Oh no, it fell in the ooh. But like it has like maybe 2 rules besides flick it into the hole. It's not too much, which I think that's a good touch.
Yeah.
Is there flicking in the last game we looked at?
My goodness.
Fractured Sky? No. Huh.
No. What was
No. Your joke failed.
it? Wow.
Pedantry all around.
Wow.
Yeah, tabletop golf. All right. REDLINE Payday, mech-based expandable card game. They have had quite a few of these. In fact, I think all of the ones he's had is for this game, right?
Yeah.
Yet I'd never heard of the game.
This was my first time hearing about it too.
Okay,
Yeah,
I was like,
partway through
have I been this far out?
No, partway through the video, they're like, and introducing this new expansion. Like, oh, whoops.
Right.
We might have covered these, and I don't remember. I thought it was going to be miniatures, actually,
I
mech.
did.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess, but it's like mostly a card game, though, right? I mean, it looks
Yeah.
like a card game, a really complex, text-heavy card game.
Yeah.
I was overwhelmed by this very quickly. This page, I felt like immediately overwhelmed almost. I'm like, not for me. This was screaming at me. This isn't for you.
That's
it's
how
too
it was.
late. Get out. Shut the door on your way out. Yeah, it's like, all right.
We're talking in here. Yeah, that's where I was.
Oh.
The
I don't
mini
have
game
anything to add.
idea.
Nope.
I have
Yeah, yeah.
nothing to say.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's. All right, Hispania, the Roman conquest.
This is one I looked at and thought, oh, just like that. Like, there's a few games today that I get that first impression. It's way off. This I'm like, oh, war game. You know, it's a big war game. Here we go. I look at this thing and I'm like, oh, it's a tiny little game. And then I realize it's co-op.
Cooperative, right?
Yes.
It took me a moment to get there, and I'm like,
It's-
oh, this is a small, tight, cooperative game. Okay,
Right.
I'm interested.
Yeah.
I am too. And you
Pretty
know what?
quick, too.
When I see this board, I'm like, they're like, this game is good. That's good. That's fine. It's like bold strategy, Cotton. We're gonna see if it works out for you. You know, because it's like, I think it looks good. It's to the point. It's like, I'm
It's
interested in
clean.
this.
It's old school
Yeah.
and clean, and they're
Yeah.
like, this is a no-nonsense game.
I like
Right.
that.
So I saw that when I was looking at it, I was like, man, this looks a lot like Tetrarchia, this other historical co-op game where you have 4 leaders, a historical setting that are trying to co-op, kind of win this war game type thing. And then I realized this is the same company. Tetrarchia is also a thing you can pledge in this same
Yes,
campaign.
it's
I was like,
down
oh,
at
this
the
makes
bottom.
sense.
Right.
Because, yeah, same type of thing. Clean look.
Oh, they do look similar.
Oh, same type of thing. I thought it was the previous name of the game until I got a little deeper into it. I'm like, okay, little differences. They changed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's a good game. I haven't played this enough to really get my thoughts around Tetrarchia, the previous one. But if it's like that,
Fun to say.
it's going to be fairly simple to kind of get into, and not too rules overheady like a lot of historical or war games are. Plus, that cooperative spin is neat.
You played Tetrarchia or whatever? You
Yeah,
played that one?
A
You
little
liked
bit.
it?
I did enjoy it. I want to, wrestle through it again a little bit more, but.
Yeah, people are saying it's kind of like the pandemic system.
Yeah.
It's a bit. It's like a
Really?
historical game kind of pandemic type thing. Stuff's coming in. You are using the different leaders. In Tetrarch, I think you always use all 4 leaders, whether you're playing solo through 4-player, and you're kind of managing stuff. I got wrecked big time when I played this, so I need to play it more.
That's cool.
That's interesting.
I like this one, yeah.
Yeah, that one's talking to me a little.
81 difficulty levels. I did read that on there. I'm like, whew. That's interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
That just seems like a flex. Like, I play Hispania at 54.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
Oh, I only 47. Like it just seems like such a flex.
Amateur.
Like, yeah, where's your sweet spot? 40, I wish there was a 47.5.
What they should have done is do the whole over 80 difficulty levels.
Yes.
You know,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
like,
yeah, over
that's how you do it. You don't say you have 81 difficulty levels. That's a punk move. Okay? You say over 80. People go, oh my goodness, it might be 100. Maybe 120. It could be anything.
One-hit heroes.
Yeah. I'm excited about this one. I like their 5-minute for what they were. Marvel, and then I even like 5-minute mystery. I think I played that with you. It ended up being that was really a cute game.
You said "were" for what it were.
Okay, for what it was. Sorry, for what it,
Or for what it was.
For what it is.
Are you saying that you're not playing the 5-minute games anymore?
I'm
or-
not. I kind of played them several times, then you kind of move on.
No, I'm
I
definitely
mean-
still playing it. My son likes it. I mean, it comes out almost every con I go to.
Really?
Yeah. No, it's
It's-
still it's almost like an evergreen kind of with
it's-
me. I like them a
Yeah,
lot.
it's nice that these guys are doing a different game here. They're- It seems to share a little bit of DNA with that, more in their philosophy than the gameplay. This idea of we make bright, clean, sort of gimmicky games. What's the gimmick in this one? You have 1 hit.
Yeah.
And then you
Right.
die. You can only take 1. Cute. That's a cute gimmick. It does toe the line between that thing I was talking about it being a video game and kind of feeling like fighting
Yeah, I can
video
see that.
game. I don't tend to love that in a board game. Sometimes that theme doesn't register with me. I will say I like that in this one. This was something fully unexpected, especially when you consider the previous games. As you win and beat bosses, you open packs.
Yeah, I saw that.
And they're all
Like-
preset, right?
Like wow!
So it's,
Like you literally open little built-in envelopes, and get new cards for your people.
I like
That's
that.
kind of wild.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
I think it's supposed to have like a short campaign kind of feel to it.
I don't know that it's a campaign necessarily. I think it's more like you just increase your arsenal that you can use to create
Right.
your deck. You know, so it's like it's not
It's not
campaign like
campaign,
right.
yeah.
That has that kind of. That's how you get this stuff. I mean, you could just open it all up, right? But
No, that's against the law.
I think it
That's in the
lends to that
seventh realm.
excitement. You know,
Like
without.
5-Minute Dungeon had that way you
envelopes
cross
in
the
the sixth
dungeon each
realm
round.
Dang, that's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd
right.
open up. I
Yeah,
will say that was
exactly.
one of the first games I sleeved because people throw those things everywhere. The 5-Minute
Oh, right.
Dungeon.
Or
It's
you
like,
reach for it and then you crumple the card.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely
Sleeves aren't going to help with that.
No.
all
Yeah,
right.
That's a good one. This one.
Say it.
Euthanasia.
That's a lot.
Every time I see
Euthia,
it,
Euthanasia.
Euthia.
I also think urethra.
Right.
It's
I'm like,
tough.
oh,
Yes.
Cruel Frost. How
There we
about that
go.
one?
Okay, every time I saw it, it looked like Euthia. I would think Cruel Summer. I don't know why. I was
Oh,
like,
really?
you
That's
know,
funny.
Cruel Frost is just not.
No.
It's good. It's
It's a line for-
descriptive. It's nice. But every time I saw it, I was like, Cruel Summer. It's like what I kept thinking of.
Cruel Frost is that line from Batman and Robin. Cruel Frost.
I think this is.
to meet you.
I think this is one that like, if you're in it already, you're in it and you're excited about this.
Right.
But I don't know that anyone's coming into this game for
the
this.
third
I think it's the
big
third one,
boss at this
the
point.
final, the epic, the conclusion. You know, that was my kind of takeaway. Is this is one that seems like it would be in my wheelhouse, but another Kickstarter for it doesn't make it feel any more approachable when you're getting into these big games.
I think
You know.
things like this almost need a section every time that says why this game stands out. You know, it's like what.
But they're all going to say the same thing.
They are, and that's
Joey.
the problem.
We have awesome miniatures. Our world reacts to you, or some garbage.
Engineer.
Very streamlined rules. A minute to learn. A lifetime to play through all this crap.
That's. I do think there's a mixture of like, hey, some things have minis, other things standees. You know.
Yeah,
So-
I do like that too. And to be fair to the game, if this is one that, if at a con somebody had set up with a green flag, I'd be like, yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I think specifically for the Kickstarter, this doesn't seem like a jumping in point necessarily. You know, like, oh, cool. You know,
Has
let me
anyone
pick
here
this
played
up.
it? It's come through here, I think.
It's come through
I've
the
I've seen
office.
that cover, right?
And it's a massive box. It is.
Yeah.
I'm
gigantic.
assuming Tom played it. I don't know.
I don't know if
I
any of
didn't
us
see
did
that
actually.
review in there.
Yeah, I think it came through before I was here. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I did see one comment. Maybe it was Streed, actually, in the page. They quoted Streed as saying, I really like it. It kind of reminds me of Diablo. And I'm like,
That pulled me in a little bit. I was like,
okay, Streed.
all right.
I see you.
All right.
Now, if I had a quote from Alita, I'd be more interested.
Woof, 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 woof. Yeah.
Yeah. So I like how Glenn here in the comments says he loves the game, but it takes so long to play. Is that like per play session? You know, that doesn't usually turn me away as long as you're not talking like 7-8 hours. Are you talking
Yeah.
like 3 to 4 is kind of like my max. You know,
They said it's sandbox style, which I like that.
I do like that.
I like
so
sand.
again, somebody wants to
Gets
set this up and put
everywhere.
up that flag, I'll be there. But this doesn't be like, oh, you know what? Yeah, I want to jump in. I'm finally ready to jump in and try this. I'm like, I'm a little behind.
Yeah.
So, all right. Black Sonata, Strange Shadows.
Have any of you played Black Sonata?
No.
I think I might have, I remember looking through it once and it didn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. I was like, what? I'm sorting letters or some crap. It didn't grab me at all. I put it back in the box and brought it back to work.
I like what Side Room Games does. This is one of those I missed when this game came out originally, and people say it's a very good solitaire game, and I've never gotten
People
into
are
it.
dummies.
But Side Room Games, I think, did both Maquis, the French Resistance game.
Oh, my keys.
Oh, Maquis.
My keys.
And then they also are the ones, if memory serves, who did the solo trick-taking one recently.
Yes.
For
Northwood.
For Northwood. So this is one of those games that I'm more interested in now, kind of going back, now that I see that this company has a good repertoire.
Yeah. And I'm sure, again, I think everybody is going to now jump in and say, it's brilliant, it's great, you're a dummy, Z, for not understanding it. And I'll give you that. It just didn't speak to me, yeah. I kind of tried to understand how to play or what it would entail. I wasn't ready to start playing. I was just kind of looking at it. And didn't seem like my jam, so I shoved it all back in this tiny little box and brought it back. It does have a following, so I'm glad that they are supporting the game and putting more content out for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's doing pretty well, I thought, for just being
Absolutely, that's
a
great.
solo, and an expansion.
2,500 backers, yeah.
Right. Yeah. And only $15, right? So having 2,500 backers, I think, is really impressive.
Yeah.
All right. House of Fado. So this is going to be another one of his medium weight, based on one of his already established, Lacerda's already established systems. This one is off of Gallerist, right? Mm-hmm. If I'm not mistaken, which is one I really like of his. So this super got my attention, very much so.
Love this theme. Love this artwork.
Artwork's great.
Yeah, it's very, very stylistic and bold and everything.
That looks
and
good.
This is one of those cool moments that when a theme in gaming, when you look at it, you're like, I need to learn about this. So I went and I listened, I studied about the history of Fado music and everything. Very, it's cool, very melodrama and everything, but classical guitar. I like all of that. I like that even just looking at this cover, I was like, I got to look into this theme more.
Yeah.
That's exciting for me. But the game itself, I'm excited because this is a co-design between Vital Lacerda and João Martins, who did
Bot Factory.
Bot Factory, thank you.
And
And so the two of them, I thought, did a fantastic job with Bot Factory. I didn't like the first one, but that was Lacerda with a different co-designer, the Mercado de Lisboa. Yeah, so this one could be like two in a row with these two guys.
Yeah, I thought Bot Factory was really slick, and especially
I like that
with
one.
Kanban EV, But yeah, no, I'm excited. I don't think the theme specifically grabbed me. I definitely didn't go research over it, I'm glad that it definitely did, but I think the artwork and just knowing it has that system behind it, this one really, really has me intrigued. So
Yeah, it looks cool.
Yeah.
I do like that theme too. This looks neat. And somehow the Vital Lacerda game of the week is not the most Euro game of the week. It's wild.
so salty. Good night.
This looks cool.
Amazing journeys in a world of emotions. Books and board games. I think this is a really interesting project. It's really, what it kept reminding me of is, nope.
Yeah.
Stuffed Fables. It kept reminding me of that because, as you play through it and it brings up the character going through the emotions and having those discussions with your kid and that kind of stuff, but it's really in a game. This is definitely more that idea forward. It's meant to bring out those conversations instead of it being like, hey, if this brought up this conversation, here's talking points, kind of style. Whereas this is very much meant to facilitate that. If I still had a young kid, I could definitely see myself using something like this. I think it's a really, really neat project. I think I'm past it,
I think the problem with a project like this is you run the risk of backing something like this and then it taking too long to get to you and missing your window.
Yes.
Right.
But I'm glad that they're going for something like this. Just think ahead. If you have a really little one, then I don't know how long this is going to take. Just, make sure you plan ahead. But yeah, it looks like a nice one. And they mentioned quite a few people in the video. They mentioned sort of the people they've worked with, not by name, just sort of what their background is. And there's a plethora of people who've done psychology work and they've worked for this big company, that big company with development.
Yeah.
That's great. They seem to have a team, brought together a team that's very impressive.
Right. Yeah, for sure. For sure. All right. And I think, that's the last of our projects, right?
There's one more.
Is there one more?
Yeah, there it is.
Oh, yep, that's right. This is the last one. I guess I was thinking this was a silly one.
We're calling this a real one?
Silly.
This is a real one.
We're calling this a real project?
This is the first email.
The first email?
Yes.
Oh, dang it. It might be.
Okay, we're calling this a real project.
Hey. I want one. This is metal.
This is a fidget spinner, dice rolling, measuring tool.
It's the worst of the worst because it's trying to do everything and I feel like not doing any of it good because even the roller, or the dice, as a die, and then it's like, shoot, and you hurt it. But eventually it's like, oh, oop, meant 4. It doesn't even stop exactly. Not to mention, you can Not like some of them you hit it and a hard stop. It's like, oh, it's on the line, do it again. No, this one, it's your finger that's stopping it, and you have that play yourself. You know, it's like, oh, I hate that so much.
It's like when you
it.
flip a coin, and if you're like, don't like what's in my hand, you can, I'm doing this.
Right,
Julio.
it's the equivalent of that way. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then you can change what's in it. You can sort of unscrew the two halves, take the middle out,
Yes.
and put a different plate in there.
Yeah.
And it's like, it'll be like a D12, D20, D whatever, or a measuring one. Where you like literally stick it on something and start rolling it and it measures.
Yeah.
Up to like, as long as this thing is around, so
3 inches.
that it'd have to be really big for
How big
that.
is
That
You
I
would
don't
be
know.
so jealous during our D&D campaign. You guys are rolling like cavemen over there, and you ask me, I'm like, whoosh.
1 or 16. Hold on.
Yep.
16.
Y'all are going to be jealous when I run my underground roulette table tournaments with this thing. Right. I don't know if you know this or not about roulette. You need a big table to bet on numbers and odds and things. The wheel is not the part to make small.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does this have a roulette one on there too?
Yeah, the roulette. Decision maker, mystery die. Yeah, it does everything and none of it well.
Decision maker.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nah.
I'm so excited. Should I brush my teeth tonight?
Right, yeah. No.
It's like a
that
magic
line.
8-ball, I guess. I just have an app like that on my phone, but you know, again, it's
Do you
an
really?
app on my phone that's free.
There's
To
the
brush
roulette
my
wheel.
teeth. Yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember otherwise. Yeah.
Oh, I missed that magic 8-ball dice.
You know what they've invented that works really well for rolling a die? It's just dice.
Yeah.
Nah, never heard of it.
Nah.
Towers.
Nah, you're asking
They
too
feel
much.
great.
Nah. All right, the next silly project. One Box 2.0.
Finally, this stuff is portable.
Speaking of one thing does everything. Jeez.
One thing does various useless things.
Right, yeah. Right.
It's like a box, very lovely looking wood, comes together. You start opening it, and what's in there? A
Thumbtacks.
pencil, a couple of paper clips,
Yeah.
a pencil.
Everything. Right, yeah, right.
What the heck
Also,
is this?
use it to hold your phone. It can be a pencil.
Oh yeah, that's right. It
or
has
like-
two wooden pieces
Yeah, and
to
then goes
rest a phone on.
And your pens, yeah. I mean, rather than carrying a backpack to work, I'm going to start carrying one of these. I'm just going
One
to sit at my
box.
desk and like unpack and then be ready for the day.
You're going to laugh
You
when
know?
I have a backpack size one box. I open it up.
Yeah, right.
I have a wooden laptop.
Yep.
I have a wooden iPad.
I just bring my actual desk. I'm like, Tom, you have an extra desk now. I brought my own.
Charging.
Yeah.
Look at this. I mean,
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh, I missed it.
I
There's a
missed that
charging
too. I
version.
like wireless
Oh
charge.
my gosh.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah, you got to let me know what type of wood has conductivity.
Balsa.
in it. Yeah.
Balsa wood.
Oh, wow. All right. All right.
Love it.
Super suction gun. Suction with maximum grip.
this one was a little rough to talk about because the guy was so
Yeah.
He's so into it,
he's
man.
so
It's like,
eager. He's like, hey, what's up, everybody? I finally finished this thing I've been working on for a long time. And he has an idea for a very specific project.
and it
Yeah.
works.
He's
when he does
clearly
it.
a smart dude.
Yeah.
He is.
He knows what he's doing. He prototyped this thing. It's legit.
Yeah.
He shows the links, many of them Amazon, but not all of them, to where he bought the parts to make the prototype.
Yeah.
The suit is legit. Unfortunately, this page isn't particularly well put together, which is, he can't be good at everything. But also, this is not a very widespread problem, I think.
I think he's
Right.
overestimated the Venn diagram of people that are going to be like, you know what I wish I had.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, but it works. I mean, it shows him to get that battery out of the iPhone is like, little suction on there.
Yeah, I guess. I just...
Yeah, I think that's the problem. It's a very narrow audience,
Yeah.
and it's also a very big tool for a very small job
Right.
kind of
It is.
thing.
It's like a
You know?
screw gun size thing
Right.
for
Just,
What
Yeah.
are the other uses you could think of for this thing? Like,
nothing. It's all to remove something that you're worried about, like sticking a knife in between it
Yeah.
and the edge and scoring it or something. That's
Right.
it.
you know how
puzzle
some
pieces.
some board game inserts, right, where you're supposed to put like square tokens.
Yeah.
If you take out all but one and the one falls flat in it because it's square and you can't get it out,
But you need
or
the
very-
mini. You need the mini version of this thing.
Right, or the very bottom card in a card well,
Yes.
Or
something
card
like that.
well with the finger hole doesn't go into the
Right,
bottom.
right. And then you damage the card, and you're like, well, gotta throw the game away now.
You can also just.
Yeah.
That's the problem is you can also just probably like buy a pack of 4 suction cups at Walmart for like 99
Right.
cents.
I might just push down.
Just get one pressed on there. And,
Yeah, but
But
then
that-
if you do bend it, like, do you damage it when you take it off? I think the point of this is it releases that suction as well. But I feel like that's, maybe I'm just showing my ignorance, but I feel like that product is probably already out there. And if it's not, then kudos here, but I need this, like, a 10
I will
of the
admit
size.
that my daughter's like Barbie Dreamhouse came with the plunger, and I've used that to get that last card. And I
Absolutely.
assume that was for Ken's bathroom, honestly, because I'm like, I don't know why it came with that. But
that's good.
It works. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's
Just like,
fantastic.
whoop.
Yeah.
Wubber
Yeah,
Barbie.
Chris here says I can see it used in repair shops, absolutely. But again, that margin is like,
Yeah.
how many of those people
Contact lenses.
are using Kickstarter looking for something for a year and a half to 2 years
Yeah.
from now? You know,
Instead of just going to the shop and
Yeah.
be like, I bought
Yeah.
these plungers or I bought
Yeah,
these
yeah, yeah,
suctions.
right.
yeah,
Yeah, he's targeting those repair shops, and he's doing a
Right.
good job. But
yeah.
I would use it
So-
to remove my contact lenses.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
the Where Can I Dance app. So this is an app to bring
I love
dancers
it.
together.
yes,
I've never wanted to hack an app so bad.
Have them show up to random people's houses on their birthday.
so basically, this guy wants to put
gosh.
together an app in which, if you are traveling and you need to dance, you need to know where you can go to dance.
Finally.
And what's the word he keeps using? Go back up.
It's a really short page, so
Important, enabling. What is it? He kept saying like a facilitator.
a facilitator.
He kept saying facilitators and dancers.
Yeah.
So the facilitator is the person who I guess runs a dance studio, and they jump in the app and put their information in there, and then dancers looking to get some dancing happening would jump on the app and see where can I dance right now. Which is not a thing you can do now, by the way. It's impossible. I know a lot of dancers who just crack under the pressure of not being able to find where to dance.
No, that's the way I danced.
I mean,
by
is
the way.
this like so you can schedule like flash dances, like the flash
I
mobs
thought
or
that
flash
too.
mobs,
I'm like,
you know?
flash
I was
mobs,
like,
see,
that
yeah,
would
is
have
that
been
what this is?
interesting, yeah.
You know, but
This is just. I'm
be-
sorry if you're coming up with an app that the internet does probably
Right.
equally well, then you don't need
Yeah.
an app.
okay. But do you think if this is the Where Can I Play a Board Game app, that in our community, like I think it would have more than 2 backers.
They've tried that already, various times.
I'm not saying it would work. I'm just saying, like, I bet it would get a backing. 'Cause it's not. I mean, every 2 or 3 days, someone posting the Facebook group, you know,
Sure,
hey, going
sure,
here
sure.
to this. I just wonder if the idea would catch on. Not that I think it would actually go anywhere sustainably,
Right.
because, like you said,
And that's
everything
the
does
problem. It doesn't.
but,
It's hard to
yeah.
keep that, going.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm waiting for this to come out. I haven't danced in 12 years.
I can't find anywhere to do it.
that's the thing.
Reunion. Remember your loved ones.
Creepy.
What's happening in this picture? I don't know. This is.
I don't want to know.
This
This guy talking to himself and stuff.
Yes, that was so
That was
creepy.
the fakest thing I've ever seen.
That's something I'd say.
That's
It's
yeah,
That's
yeah.
the
and I'm like,
fakest thing. I'm sorry, pal. No.
yeah.
You do not
I
get to
don't-
like put a link to what your face looks like, and then the computer, you ask it like, "Hey, what's up? Are you busy this Saturday?" Which he misspells, and then the computer it gives it a, like 3-5 seconds, and it says back in his voice, "Hey, buddy, what's going on? Yeah, I'm busy this Saturday." I'm like, "No, pal.
Yeah.
No. If Apple can do it, you can do it. Okay."
This is some Black
over here
Mirror
talking
stuff
to-
here.
Siri, and she's like, I don't know what you mean. Like, Google it. Come on, it's crazy.
This is definitely the side of AI that I'm not comfortable with.
There was a term at the end of the video. He mentions a term, which I think was it digital? Was it digital or? I think he said digital immortality.
That
Oh,
was
that's
Something. He said something. There was a term he threw in there. This is another, pursuit like the big companies are doing in digital immortality. And I'm like, digital immortality is mega creepy. No.
Yes, we've all
Yes.
seen those movies.
Yeah, we've all seen
Done.
sci-fi.
Right.
Like sci-fi that
No.
warns you constantly, like, don't upload your brain into the computer.
Right.
And someone out there is still like, can't wait to upload my brain to the computer.
Right. Also,
It's going to be
like,
different when I do it.
how about some healthy processing? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
look at this.
like, come
Deepfakes.
on.
Deepfakes of your loved ones are big business in China.
Nah.
There was an entire Black Mirror episode where the girl did that with her husband. You ever see that
I
one?
haven't seen- I
Yeah,
haven't
there's a
seen
bunch
that
of that
one.
Oh,
stuff.
it's
I haven't
rough.
seen that one.
It's not
No,
good.
that's so. No, okay.
Yeah,
All right. Well,
the two-word phrase should be cautionary tale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many things that
And
say,
you have
hey,
to train it before you die, too. It's like, hey, Grandma, train this.
this is different. Right. This is different. This is different than like I wrote a letter. You know what I mean?
No, yeah,
like,
no.
No, this is.
I mean, if you're worried about this, we have some audio recordings of my father-in-law before he passed away, where
Yeah.
he told stories, he talked about things. And you know what? Those are real!
Right. Yeah.
That's true.
Yes. Yeah. Not like, let me input some information and then they come up with these stories to tell you different versions of it. No.
my goodness.
There's lawsuits
No.
coming from this,
Yeah.
I'm sure of
Yeah.
it.
Well, probably
So
not. There's only one
weird.
backer, but calm down.
$1.
The only resealable beverage can. This is kind of a neat project.
We're getting a lot of like $1 and $2 projects this
Right,
week.
yeah. I think this is a really neat concept, but again, it goes back to what you were saying, is like, what is the market? Like, you need to be taking this prototype to Coca-Cola, or taking them to Pepsi.
Yeah,
You know what I
man,
mean? Be
go
like,
knock on some
"Hey,
doors."
guys, I got an idea, I got a prototype ready, I want to pitch you something.
If you're desperate,
You know?
go to RC Cola, right?
Right,
But, like,
man.
Yeah.
They got them remote
Cab.
cars.
But, yeah, but this here is not something that, I mean, what is this? I go buy a Coke and then put it into this one? And then
Yeah.
walk around with that can?
Yes.
No.
So basically this guy has a
Make me
lid.
a tumbler.
Yeah, he has a lid. He invented a popping, spinny thing that is, I guess, better. It keeps it. You can reseal it, but also if the can falls, it re-shuts.
Self-seals, yeah.
I'm like, yo, what? Okay, cool, great.
It's like those baby food tumblers that like have the gyroscope in it. So even when like they're in the car,
Yeah,
like,
it's always
the bowl is always
Yeah, wobbles
upright.
but won't fall over, yeah.
Yeah.
I love this. His experience was amazing to me.
Motorsport, 5 years,
So
aviation.
click that. Open that up right there. Engineer and inventor, motorsport, 5 years. Aviation and space industry, 7 years. Beverage can industry, 10 years.
Wow.
Self-employed, 5 years.
5.
Mostly back to the cans. He worked in beverage can industry as an inventor and engineer for 10 years. What does that? What did you do for 10 years on can technology?
He
Spilled
tell
a
you.
lot of drinks,
He
I
can't
think.
tell you. Yeah.
Come on.
He's like,
But again, I mean,
I want to
that's
see this guy's TED Talk.
also a really interesting background. Again, take this product to Coca-Cola.
I
Take
know.
it to
Be
Pepsi. Like, with
dude,
that-
I have the can you can take to space because I
Yeah.
worked in aviation and space.
that's
Yeah, right, yeah. Yep, find
amazing.
your market. I don't think it's on Kickstarter, unfortunately. All right, picks of the week. Let's start with Mike.
Hey there, everybody. It's Mike DeLisio coming to you from the Dice Tower Midwest Annex. And for my pick of the week, I'm going to be going from the newest game from Off the Page Games, Core of Discovery. This is the third in a line of games that they have put out based on graphic novels. And I've already actually done a solo playthrough of this on the Dice Tower. Check it out. But yeah, that's my pick of the week. A really cool exploration, survival, deduction game. I like that quite a bit, and that is my pick of the week. Let's head on back down to South Florida and see what they have to choose.
That's right.
All right, there we go. Core of Discovery.
this was almost
From
Put
mine.
me in, coach. I'm
It was
picking the same
almost mine.
It
thing.
wasn't.
It was
I'm
mine.
picking it.
You are?
you?
I am picking
There
it.
we
Yes.
go.
Okay. Core Discovery is where it's at. I trust Mike DeLisio in everything he says. Okay. If Mike DeLisio says it, I'm there.
Okay.
I'm almost there. This is like my second pick, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my
But you
second
like
pick,
this.
too.
That's good.
Yeah,
even
I'm
though
very
you were
interested.
nervous that it was maybe a little, because you had me nervous when you're like, it might be a little too abstract for me, and I was like, oh dear, if it's too abstract for you.
I am worried it might be too abstract. Yeah. Everything else this week sucks. So.
What?
No, I'm kidding. It's a good week. It's a good week.
It is a
No,
good
this is
week,
the
yeah.
one that's talking to me this time.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Nice. Very
And like
cool.
I said, out of this company, I like what they're doing. I'm just not really enjoying the games yet. They haven't hit for me, and this I'm hoping will be the one.
All right, Chris, what you got?
For me, I'm going to go with House of Fado, the
All
Lacerda
right,
Martin's
yeah.
co-design there. I was very close to picking Core Discovery. There's a few others I thought looked good, but I know how much I like Bot Factory. I know how solid of a game that was and how much it landed with me. Taking the ideas from one of the bigger, more difficult to get to the table Lacerda games, and then putting that in more of a medium weight package, I think is a great idea. I have so much fun playing. Playing Bot Factory, I look at this and I go, oh, cool. Okay, I see where the familiar mechanisms are. I like the theme even more than Gallerist. So, yeah, obvious.
Yeah, this was a very, very close call for me on this one. I'm super excited.
You're not, okay. I thought
I'm
that you
not
might.
going this one. No, I'll just jump in with mine here. I'm going to go one-hit heroes. I am so
a lot of good stuff this
excited
week,
about
man.
this one.
Because all of these picks, and I'm assuming yours is a different one
This
also.
is mine.
This is yours
okay.
too?
This is mine.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm
it was
so
this
excited.
or Core
wow.
Discovery. Yeah.
Okay, I went first. I was like,
Those
all right,
two.
I'll
A
get
lot
this one
of-
so you can make your choice. This is
Yeah.
so exciting. This is, oh my gosh, I love the one deck. The 5 minute. The 5 minute
Yeah.
Marvel, 5 minute dungeon, 5 minute mystery.
Mystery.
I think they were all good, but they were all
I agree.
unique at the same time. They all played differently with the same core kind of idea and system, but felt unique. But also, I'm glad they're not still going down that route. I'm glad they're like, you know what, we're good. Those three were solid. Let's do something else with a different kind of feel to it. And I am 100% here. I think it's so cool, just the angst that you would have waiting to see if that one hit point goes away. It's instantly such an intriguing idea. And a very simple gameplay package as well. I'm stoked. I'm super stoked about this one.
They seem to ask a question that I think some people don't. They to put all the stuff in there, then they ask the question, is it fun? You know, it's like their games are just fun.
They are.
You know, that a 5 minute dungeon, I mean, you watch people around the table playing it and it's just the way they're laughing, like going at it.
Yeah.
It's just fun.
Right.
Yeah, they're one of the few companies where you watch their videos, and they're staged, of course,
Right.
the whole like, whoa! But they're one of the few companies that can back that up with games that have
Right.
actually come out.
You can actually believe it.
And
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
look
like,
like
okay,
that when you
maybe
see
it's
it being
actually
played.
maybe true, yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
and that in the video, that moment where they all like, yeah, together, like you said, clearly staged. But also, I've had that exact moment
I've done that.
in
I've been a
multiple
Marvel.
of their games.
Absolutely,
You know,
yeah.
at
I do it for 5 minutes
100%.
straight playing that game, actually.
Do what?
I do it for 5 minutes straight while I play 5 minute dungeons.
Who has
okay?
scrolls?
I
Does
know
no
it.
one have scrolls?
Z's just going,
Yeah, that's what I
handful of
do.
scrolls,
I've
yeah.
never won. No one's ever played again with me.
This I love boss battlers type 7. I like that this one takes it in that kind of cartoony but
Yeah.
still clever, grounded looking way.
Yeah,
So,
Yeah.
I think
cool.
this is fun. This is
agree.
cool. So yeah, it's interesting. I think my picks were the two ends, right? Either the middleweight Lacerda or the 5 minute, you know,
Yeah.
the
Like
I thought you
giant,
might-
super
Yeah.
easy
I actually
ones.
did think you might go for that one
6th round.
Hardwood Grove. Yeah, 6th round.
Six Rome?
Good.
Yeah,
Look,
and like I said, it was a hard week.
it's
There's
actually a
some
really good batch of stuff.
Right.
I agree.
So, and I mean, I know we went back and forth there or whatever, but I do think that game can go one of two ways.
Yeah.
I'm excited about it. It's a must play for me, you know, excited because of what they've done in the past, both
Right.
the designers and the company. But that doesn't mean there's not that apprehension there. So I do
Sure.
recognize that as well.
Right.
So anyway, but this one, I'm just 100% stoked. Cannot wait. So anyway, that's going to do it for us here for Crowdsurfing today. That'll be all for today as well.
Okay.
But come back tomorrow for Smorgasbord in the morning. And then tomorrow afternoon, us three, Joey, myself, and Chris, have the next batch of our top 100. What are the numbers? I don't know.
What am
I
I?
60
forget.
through 51. And
Sure,
Z will
let's
be
do the
doing
60s. What are you doing?
Z, you're going to do your top 192
What are you doing tomorrow?
video games. of
Nothing,
all
but
time.
I want to be in this top 100.
You're a
yo.
Smorgasbord.
But I want to be like, hey, 98 or whatever.
You want to do that?
Do you want to? We'll invite you in.
Yeah.
You can judge all of our picks.
Oh,
Wait,
I need the extra
what?
large popcorn.
They're really fun.
Yeah, join us tomorrow for some great live stuff. And until then, I'm Camilla.
I'm Z.
I'm Chris.
I'm Joey
Evans.
Evans.
See ya.
Hey folks, thanks for watching another one of our videos. If you like our videos, if you like our channel, you would love to game with us at one of our conventions. Check out Dice Tower Cruise, Dice Tower East, and Dice Tower West. Fantastic conventions where we play games with wonderful people, a humongous library, and lots of other events and stuff. Also, don't forget to check out our channel, like and subscribe. I'm Tom Bassel.